I'ma keep it a bean. Stick to the script, every scene. These from last year, but they clean. Say to say, I'ma take something else, but it's winning team. Charlie Sheen, fam gang, the regime. I'm from Piney Green.
What's goody, Shellitronnn here, man. You can call me Shells, and I'm back at it again with a brand new video. And today, I'm going to be doing my very first official mock draft for the 2020 NFL draft coming up in just about a month now. I've done 2 live drafts on stream on this channel before, but this is going to be my first actual video going through and give you my thoughts on how I would go about drafting for the Panthers. This right here is not going to be me trying to predict what the Panthers are going to do, because over the last several years, if I've learned anything, it's that I do not know what Marty Hurney is going to do on draft day, and that man who now works in New York, I will not say his name. He is too busy doing what he does to that New York team, doing what he does best. And I'm not going to speak on his name, but I have no idea how he's going to draft. This is going to be my opinion on how I think I would do things if I were in the war room in there with Marty Hurney, David Tepper, all them. And also, these things might change. We know we're not even at free agency yet. Free agency starts, it opens up on the 18th of March. So that's in like, what, 6-7 days coming up very, very soon. We may gain more players. We may lose more players. We're probably going to get more actual draft picks. We'll get comp picks and whatnot. But we may end up with less than 7 picks if we do trade some of our picks to get more players. We do not know exactly what's going to be happening come late April. So this is just going to be, my first draft of this NFL draft for this upcoming season. So without any further ado, let's get right into it right now. We're going to pick the Panthers, obviously, right? Obviously. Next, we're going to use TDN's predictive board. We're going to go 7 rounds. We're going to pick the draft speed at fast because I don't want to waste time with it just scrolling through each and every pick. That doesn't matter to me, man. We'll get right into it right now. Off rip, very easy, very simple. Joe Burrow goes first. Chase Young, Jeffrey Okudah, obviously. Now, Isaiah Simmons, this one is kind of a surprise. I would think that the Giants would want to get an offensive lineman, probably a tackle. And if that didn't happen, then maybe someone in the secondary. That's where I would see the Giants picking up early like this. But I guess if you have holes everywhere, and like I said, it's very, very hard to know what that man, who's now the GM over there, is going to be doing for that team. So Isaiah Simmons going to the Giants kind of hurts us a little bit, but I think in the same breath, it makes this next pick very easy. I was having a hard time in any of my drafts I do where we talk about the very first pick in this draft, but now it's very easy. Now you just say, okay, let's go ahead and get Derrick Brown. There's a lot of love for Mekhi Becton, but I think Russell Okung helps us out there. You don't need to use a first-round pick on a tackle anymore. I think Derrick Brown is the obvious pick here. There's also some love for Javon Kinlaw, but I think Javon Kinlaw really comes into mind when you start thinking about whether or not we actually believe that Derrick Brown will be available at number 7. And if Derrick Brown is available, I do pick him over Javon Kinlaw. I got love for Javon, but this is an easy pick for me. You pick Derrick Brown, very versatile. He's fast, he's strong. The dude can be in different positions. I like what he does. Derrick Brown is my pick. Now, look, there's a lot of talk about the team maybe tanking, maybe trying to, rebuild, do a lot of different things here. Look, if I knew for certain that this team was trying to tank this year or just not be all that great, I wouldn't be all that down on going ahead and picking up CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy and saying, look, if we ain't gonna win games, at least make it kind of exciting. Can you imagine DJ Moore, C-Mac, Curtis Samuel, then you got Jerry Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb out there doing what they do. The offense will be, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. We would love for Cam to be back. But even if it's Kyle Allen, anyone, you could make that work. I wouldn't do it myself, but I would not be against it. So look, our first round pick, obviously Derrick Brown. Interior D lineman, you need to stop the run. That's the most important thing to me. Even more important than anything on offense, I think even more important than knowing who our quarterback is. It doesn't matter if you're a quarterback, if your offense is scoring 30 plus points a game. When you have the Colts, who are garbage, scoring 38 points on us last year with the players we had on defense already, and with 7 or 8 of those guys maybe not returning, it's kind of hard to say that the biggest issue is offense. You have to stop the run. Now, the biggest issue for us right now, since we have Russell Okung, you might think maybe we can look at interior O-linemen. There's a lot of good centers here. I don't want to pick up a center and then try to move him to a different role, like maybe a guard or something like that. I don't like that very often. I'd rather get a guy who played at the position. Look at tackles. There are two guys here at O-tackle that I like that will be available later on in the draft. One of the biggest needs on the team after stopping the run is stopping the pass, doing something. Look, we all understand there is a certain quarterback who will not be back this upcoming year. Hey, James, I wish you the best. Make your money wherever you go. I hope you winning wherever you go, James Bradbury. But I called this before this year even started. I said before 2019, you have to extend James Bradbury, because if you let this man reach the open market, if he has even a decent year in 2019, which he did, he had a pretty impressive year actually, then he's going to be gone. You cannot afford what he's going to cost, and this team just cannot afford what he's going to cost right now. So it is what it is. Obviously, Noah out of Auburn is probably the best player available. There are a couple guys I liked ahead of him as well, but right now on the list, I like Noah a lot. He's 5'11". I like to have my corners be a little bit taller, a little bit lankier, have a little bit of wingspan. I like guys who can reach across a guy on a slant and disrupt those inside passes there, because we don't have a guy like Luke on the inside playing linebacker who's a coverage kind of guy who can help out and just sees everything happening on the field. But I think Noah definitely is the guy right here for us. Let's just look around real quick at safeties. I like Ashton Davis a lot, actually, and there's a good chance that we cannot sign Trey Boston back. Now, maybe he takes a hometown discount because he loves Charlotte so much, he loves Carolina, he loves the Panthers so much. The dude's been kind of borderline begging to stay with us for a minute now. I'm going to go ahead and pick Noah up right now. I like Damon Arnett as well. But in this draft, I might just work with the assumption that Trey Boston is going to stay for a reduced price. Now, that is kind of working against the man because he has played now 3 straight years on 1-year prove-it deals, and each of those 3 years, he played really well. Now, obviously, we did just pick up Russell Okung. We traded for my man Trey Turner. That was more of a contract dump. It would be really nice to pick up one of these guys who can play left tackle and stay there behind Russell Okung, maybe learn something. It would not hurt to still pick up a tackle here. We have guys who can play other spots here on the team as well. We have a lot of guys in depth positions on the O-line, but I still would not be all that against picking up a guy here at tackle. Now, my number 1 pick here would be Saahdiq Charles. He plays left tackle. He's physical, he's long, he's strong. The only problem I have with him is that he's 6'4", 295. I would kind of like to see him get up there to 305, 310, get a little bit more mass on his body. But overall, I like him a lot. I like him to get that 1 year under Russell Okung and step up after that. I'm not all that sure about the guys we have on the roster right now, either for injury history issues or for, maybe they just can't play left tackle all that well. I like to just re-up one more time with Saahdiq Charles right here and make that move out of LSU. The dude can win, and he has there's a guy who works for the Panthers right now who might be a little bit familiar with Saahdiq Charles, maybe a little bit, a left tackle for a guy who kind of got this man's name on the map for real. Who knows? Maybe Joe Brady would love to have Saahdiq Charles again. I pick him up right there, get an O-tackle, specifically a left tackle, and make moves right there. See how this draft works out. Kyle Duggar's a good name there. Jake Fromm's gone. Damon Arnett got picked up by the Cowboys. The Cowboys are loading up on players that I actually like a lot. Let's see. Not seeing any more names I really like to see, or that I'm really looking forward to picking up myself. We're in the 4th round though, and here in the 4th, I'm looking for really whatever. Let's look at BPR now. Who are the best players available? A lot of edge guys. Thaddeus Moss. There's a lot of Panthers fans who really want to see this man Thaddeus Moss play on the Panthers in this upcoming year. I'm not really all that sure, all that sold that we need a tight end, especially in the 4th round. The 4th round isn't really a super early round, but it's not exactly a late throwaway pick either. It sounds like a lot of Panthers fans just don't like Ian Thomas or have forgotten about Ian Thomas. Whenever Ian Thomas has been given an opportunity, he's played pretty well. And I just don't believe that we need to go ahead and draft a tight end, especially a tight end is not even close to the top end of our needs right now. I feel like we're kind of getting reactionary Oh man, Luke's gone. Now we need Isaiah Simmons. Oh man, Greg Olsen's gone. Now we need Thaddeus Moss. I'm not really all that sure. What we've seen from Ian Thomas is enough that I say we don't have a huge need to go ahead and pick him up right now. Now on the edge, as of right now, we're talking about letting Mario Addison test free agency. The team wants to keep him, but obviously Mario Addison's had some really good years. He's kind of on the wrong side of 30, but he's been productive and he's been the number 1 sack leader on the team for several years in a row now. So, I mean, he might be able to test the market out a little bit. I would probably wait just a little bit longer to look at the edge. Now, Alex Highsmith out of Charlotte. I mean, look, I got love for anyone coming out of Charlotte, but he did get 26 reps on the bench. He's not really the most highly touted kind of guy coming out of college right now, but I'm not too mad about that. I'd like to pick him up if he's still available. Probably won't be after the 4th round, honestly. I'm not seeing anything I like. Maybe actually Yasir Durant, but he'll be more of a later round kind of guy. I might actually go Alex Highsmith. This might be more of me being a little bit more on the edge of picking guys from Charlotte. And also, Michael Divinity Jr. is another guy I like a lot. A guy I like a whole lot, honestly. Let me see if there's a corner here. I like actually Harrison Hand out of Temple. Yeah, actually Harrison Hand out of Temple I like a lot as well. And this is a kind of draft pick that says, look, Dante, you got 1 more year on your contract after this year. And if you can't beat out this man right here, we might have your replacement already on the roster, ready to go. This could be a really good spot. I usually don't like using draft picks to motivate guys or whatever, especially a 4th round pick. But this pick right here is definitely one that I think is important because Dante has not shown growth, maturity, or even a willingness to be coached. Honestly. So I think picking up another corner here could be the move, could be the kind of kick we need where if it makes Dante play better, then cool. If Dante doesn't respond to this and he plays even worse, then there's a guy right there ready to go. 5th round, easy for me. I won't be sitting here talking for too long. A guy here, he is not the top guy on the BPA list. I like Shaquille Quarterman a lot. Shaq Quarterman is a really good linebacker, but 9 times out of 9, I'm picking Justin Strnad. He is a coverage linebacker out of Wake Forest. He can play anywhere. He's aware. Ball skills are great. He has speed. I like this man a lot. And he's not going to replace Luke, obviously. He is a Mike, but he's not going to replace Luke. But having a middle linebacker who can play coverage is so important because it allows you to do a lot of other things. Allows the other linebackers to be more at ease in what they're doing. It gives that one guy responsibility in the middle of the field. And I really like Justin Strnad. He is one of my favorite players, one of my favorite day 3 guys coming out in this draft right here. But you know what? In this draft, I might go crazy and then explain myself. In this pick, I'm going to pick up Antonio Gandy Golden. Now, for y'all who've been in my channel watching my streams live, the guy I usually pick is not even available. Actually, he's not. Wow. Who picked him up? Quintez Cephas got picked up. Whoa, after him? Wow. Okay. Colin Johnson got picked at 135 to the Steelers. That's wild to me. 135? I had a chance still, but I wasn't going to pick him over Justin Strnad. Colin Johnson is a guy out of Texas. He's 6'6". Dude is long. He's a guy who in the red zone you have to have eyes on. He's 6'6", so obviously he's a mismatch for just about every single corner in the league. Most corners are 5'11", 6 foot. There's maybe some 6'1", 6'2" guys, but if you're in the red zone against a 6'6" guy, you have to have your safety there as well. You need to bracket that man. Well, Antonio Gandy Golden is 6'4". He's also good. He went to Liberty, a little bit of a smaller school, but I like him a lot as well. He doesn't really have the kind of speed or the kind of route running ability that you really like to see, but he will catch those contested balls. The man has hands, and he has a good catch radius. And you need to have a guy who can play the X. Now, when Steve Smith said that DJ Moore is the number 1 receiver, I'm not really sure the actual context he meant, but I feel like DJ is more of a slot guy, and you can be a number 1 guy in the slot, but he's not really fit to be the X kind of guy. I like Curtis Samuel being the Z as well, and I like seeing this man DJ in the Y, But an X receiver, I want a bigger body guy who you have to respect on the sideline and you have to respect on the goal line. Those front corner and back corner fades, you can probably throw 3 times to him in the end zone. Just throw it up there, and at least one of those times, he'll go out and get it. That's Gandy Golden. And in the 6th round, you can't really go wrong. Now, my 7th round pick, I'm almost already 100% sure I'm going to get this guy. And there is a chance he goes undrafted, but I'm not going to risk that because going undrafted does not mean you went unwanted. There are guys who go undrafted, and then the second the draft is over, they're getting offers and calls from teams saying, hey, bro, hey, those other players, those other guys, those other 31 teams, they don't see what you got, but we know there's something on you. We know you got something special that we can use on our team. And this guy right here out of UVA is the perfect fit for the Panthers. Now look, under most circumstances, I'm not going to be the kind of guy who wants to pick up 2 wide receivers in the draft. That sounds ridiculous. It sounds stupid. It sounds I got to be out of my mind doing this. Gandy Golden makes sense. You know, he's 6'4", need a big body guy. But this man, Joe Reed, he's 5'11", 6 foot. But the thing about Joe Reed, he doesn't have the best stats, you know, over the past few years. In 2017, as a sophomore at UVA, he had 23 receptions for under 250 yards. His junior year, he had 25 receptions for less than 500 yards. And then just this past season as a senior, he saw his receptions literally triple. But his yards only went up by 200. So he went from having an 18.6 yard per reception average to an 8.8 yards per reception. I have no idea how you explain that. But I don't care about his receiving numbers. What I care about is how this man, Joe Reed, this past season led the entire nation in average yards per kickoff return. The man has had at least 1 kickoff return for a touchdown over the past 3 years. And his sophomore year and just this past season, he had 2 kickoffs returned for touchdowns. In 2017, he had 861 yards total. 2 years ago, he had 707 yards total. And just this past season, he had just under 800 yards. He had 796. He averaged 33 yards per return this past year. I'm not going to lie to you. One of our bigger problems that isn't, like, you really can't focus on it way too much because it's not really so super big is punt returns and kick returns. There was not a single soul on the roster who ever seen the ball that high in the air before. They said, wait, is he actually allowed to use his foot to get me the ball? How is he allowed to kick the ball to me? And what do I do with it when the ball comes to my hands? We saw so many guys try and then just muff kicks, muff punts, have no idea what to do with the ball. This might be wasting a pick, but it cannot be understated how bad our kick, punt, and I guess our fielding of kicks and punts was last year. Without question, I pick up Joe Reed. He's my 7th round pick. There are some better picks out there. There are definitely some better players that maybe fit our need, but it's the 7th round. I don't really care that much, honestly. But if it gives us even a shot at having a guy on the roster already there who can field kicks and punts for us, then I'm 100% fine with that. So look at our picks here. We see that in the 1st round, we got Derrick Brown, obviously a guy that we like a lot. In our 2nd round, we got Noah out of Auburn. Love this corner. I mean, there's maybe 3 or 4 corners that I really, really love in this draft. There's a few others that I like a lot. But yeah, this is one that I really do like a lot. Sadiq Charles is a tackle that I love. Not a Makai. He's not one of these big name, bigger kind of dudes. But I would not be surprised if he does end up not falling to us. I can see him going very early in the 3rd. He may even be in the 2nd round. I don't know. He may end up going in the 2nd round very late. Harrison Hand, I'm not really all that big on using draft picks to light fires under guys for competition reasons. I hate that. Look, if you don't have competition in your soul, then you're probably going to be gone either way, whether we get a guy in here or not. Like, whether or not we draft a guy or bring in a guy to compete with you, if you ain't playing good, you're going to be gone either way. So it don't really matter whether you do it this year or next year. This is just insurance, so if Dante does still play bad, then hey, we have Harrison Hand right there, and it can't go, you really can't go understated. We can't just say, like, look, I'm not really sure just how many guys we have in the secondary anyway, so the more guys you can play in the secondary, the better. Harrison Hand, the more guys you have out there, I'm cool with it. Justin Strnad is one of my biggest sleeper kind of guys in this draft. A day 3 guy that I love. Honestly, he's a guy that I would be very upset with the team if we did not pick him. He will be a steal in this draft. 6th round, Antonio Gandy Golden. I like him. He's a big body guy. Not the biggest athlete. Not the best speed. Not the best route running. But he's a big guy, and we need to have a big guy. Can't go wrong with that. And then Joe Reed, another receiver. Going 2 receivers, double dipping here may not be the best strategy, honestly. But this is a guy who maybe has some utility. He can be a guy who maybe replaces Chris Hogan, and you get 2 for the price of 1 there. You get another slot receiver, and at the same time, you get a guy who can return kicks for you. And you don't have to worry about that. We let the last guy go. We let Terry Godwin go for no reason at all. He was really good at returning kicks for us. But if we get Joe Reed here, I would definitely like that. This is a guy who was actually built for returning kicks. He's done it over the last 3 years straight. He had decent numbers as a receiver, and at best he would be our 4th receiving threat on the team, the 4th guy on the pecking order, so he wouldn't be asked to do way too much on the team during games, like on the offensive side of the ball. But when that ball gets kicked in the air, that's when you want a Joe Reed. Like him a lot in that role. As a 7th round pick, can't really go wrong there. The team does need someone back there. Simple. But that's all I got for you right now, man. What are your thoughts on my 7-round mock draft? I have it right up here for you. Let me know what you guys do. You can find the website here at itsthedraftnetwork.com. I'll actually pin the link to this site in the comments below. I want to know your sleepers. Who are those deep cut guys that no one's talking about, those diamonds in the rough? That's who I want to know about. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.